disfigured, unfortunate, but nonetheless proud community has found a braver, more gallant young champion.
Even when they kill me, they can never take the game from a young G.
Who lies before us, unconquered still.
These niggas in Mobb Deep is little kids. When I was in jail, when they came out with that song, where they was like, Thug Life, we still living it. I took it as this, so from jail, I'm calling my little homies in Atlanta like, yo, they got a show out there, get with them busted. Mobb Deep, you wanna fuck with us? You little young ass motherfuckers, don't. So my homeboys rolled them niggas like what's up, niggas was cowards. In the car, like looking forward, like they didn't see my homeboys going Thug Life, motherfucker, what's poppin'?
You would think that getting your headshots enough, but then now you wanna go on my team. Must have been drunk when you wrote that shit.
Like, Pac was my roommate.
What?
Like,
Wait, what?
if you look at his first album,
Tupacalypse Now.
yeah, we did his whole first album, the whole marketing of his album. I'm saying we worked every record there was.
Right.
Interscope was the first label to ever give me a real retainer. Like a real retainer.
Like how much?
In those days, when did that album come out? 1992, 1991, right? They would pay me $20,000 a month.
Wow. Nice. That was the 200 grand.
Yeah.
Put in your paperwork, go play basketball. And, wow. Okay. So how did you?
So we would be on the road.
Yeah.
On the weekends. Either Fade would go or I would go. And then when we come home, he really lived in the Bay, but he would stay with me because we still had shit to do. He didn't have a place. I'm like, just crash at my place.
Wow. That's fire.
And that's...
So when this was going on, did you pick up the phone like, hey, Tupac?
Nah, so I always
What are you
mind,
doing?
listen, loose lips sink ships. So I just always kept my mouth shut. So I used to have long hair. Like, I could still really grow my hair. So there was a guy by the name of Comb.
Come on, man.
No. During COVID, I grew my hair out. Right? So Comb was from Paris. And he was our social director, but he knew every model, like just every beautiful woman in New York City he had in his phone book. So I shaved my head. I was like, I'm gonna get myself a girl, I'm gonna get myself a supermodel, this, that, whatever, right?
Right.
So, you remember the artist Tony Rich?
Tony Rich.
He was on the Face. He was performing at the House of Blues, and I'm going to see him, and I get smacked in the head. But I don't know if it's a smack, shit stings, right? So, and I look and it's Pac.
Right.
And he says, you ain't gonna say hello to an N. And I'm like, man, I don't know where I stand with you. He goes, what are you talking about? I go, all this bullshit that's going on. He goes, come on, man, that's nothing. You tell those two little guys, I'm doing it to keep myself relevant. Oh, wow. I love those guys. He goes, do you ever meet Suge? I'm like, nah. He goes, come on, let's go meet Suge. And Suge was nowhere to be found. But but at the end of the day, that's like
the game.
We,
wasn't.
Did you tell that to Mobb Deep? Because they didn't seem to take it like he was just saying it to get
No,
right.
I told them, like, when he got shot and we dropped, their favorite record that they ever did was Drop a Gem on him, right? Which is my favorite record, right?
That shit was crazy.
And then when he got, I don't think when he got shot or when he passed, when we pulled the record, they agreed. I said, listen, I think the right thing to do is this. And Prodigy said we agree 100%. And they loved it.
Wow.
It's crazy. Robberies in Manhattan. You know what happened. 60 G's worth of gun clapping.
Yo, YouTube, what up? It's your homie Gab. I'm in the building, and this is Machiavelli Media. Fuck it. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's, y'all. We made it through another one. And hopefully 2025 will be bigger and better for everybody, right? Well, let's get the first show started of the year. You ever seen a cat that was everywhere? Had his hands in everything? You know, was a bit of a puppet master behind the scenes? Well, that's Steve Rifkind, y'all. Steve Rifkind in the 90s. I'm explaining this because some of you cats will be like, who the fuck is that? Some of the younger cats, right? Steve Rifkind was everywhere, yo. I mean, behind the scenes as a manager, a consultant, a marketer, a promoter. He later became a music executive, record executive, chairman of Loud Records. I mean, the nigga was everywhere. The dude was everywhere. All right, it's that simple. He worked with everybody from, De La Soul, Tribe Called Quest, Wu-Tang Clan, Mobb Deep, Nas, any and everybody damn near. In some type of capacity, he had his hand in it, right? And according to Steve Rifkind, he also worked with Tupac Shakur. I didn't see that one coming. He said he was cool with Tupac. He was a roommate of Tupac when Tupac put out Tupacalypse Now. He was working for Interscope under some capacity. And he said some pretty bold, some would say outlandish claims during his Math Hoffa interview yesterday. And one of the things he said that I'm sure is going to have the Tupac community in a uproar is what he had to say about, what Tupac had to say about Mobb Deep. Now, I just told you that Steve is official. Steve is a top tier music guy. Corporate level. Certified. But does that mean he won't stretch the truth around this motherfucker? Let's take a look at it. So during the Math Hoffa interview, Steve Rifkind said, Mobb Deep was his guys on his label. And he ran into Tupac at the House of Blues. And he said Tupac slapped him on the back of the head and was like, what's up, man? You ain't gonna speak to me? And he said he told Tupac, dude, I don't know where I stand with you. I mean, you coming at my artist, so many words. And Pac was like, oh, man, it ain't like that. I'm just dissing Mobb Deep to keep myself relevant. And they was like, oh, man, did you tell Mobb Deep that? He said, yeah, I went back and told Mobb Deep that and Blasey, and they had the song Drop a Gem, and that was their favorite track, and it was my favorite track. And I told them when Tupac died, they needed to stop doing that song, and let bygones be bygones, and they agreed. That's what he said. And, that's a conversation that him and only Tupac had, right? But let's take a look at it on a realistic level. From a different point of view. In reality, why would Tupac tell Steve Rifkind he had to diss Mobb Deep to keep himself or keep his name relevant when he was the biggest rapper in the fucking world at the time? Hello? Is this thing on? Yo, when he dissed Mobb Deep or hit him up, All Eyes on Me was already the biggest shit in hip-hop. I mean, it was a Tupac whirlwind. He had just got out of prison. He had just signed with Death Row. He was kicking ass and taking names. And you mean to tell me he had to diss Mobb Deep to stay relevant? On the contrary, we heard Mobb Deep say they was flattered when Tupac dissed them because they knew there was some extra publicity. So why would he have to diss Mobb Deep to keep his name relevant? I mean, we got to make it make sense. Now, maybe Steve Rifkind misunderstood what Tupac was saying to him in the House of Blues. Maybe the music was loud. Maybe it was a lot going on. But out that whole story, other than the fact him saying he lived with Tupac or he was roommates with him, the thing I believe the most is when he said Tupac walked up to him and slapped him in the back of his motherfucking head. I believe that. And he probably did it hard too, because he said it stung. The fact he brought that part up in the story, that he ain't forget that motherfucker neither. Pop whacked his ass. I believe that. And they might have had some dialogue about Mobb Deep, but the fact he had to diss Mobb Deep to keep his name relevant, nah, buddy. I'm calling cap on that. Somebody else tried to say that. Biggie said that. So he ran into Tupac, and Tupac said, yo, I'm only dissing you to try to sell some records. I don't got Pac telling Biggie that neither. To me, it's a cool way for them to try to save face, because Tupac was publicly embarrassing motherfuckers. He said he fucked Biggie's wife. He made fun of a Prodigy for having sickle cell. Said he was going, fuck around and have a seizure. Told him back up before he gets slapped. Yo, you already know what he said to him, right? That's embarrassing. That's damaging. And the kicker was when he said, hey, I love those little dudes. He said, Tupac said he loved them little guys or something like that. So you talk about somebody's health. You make fun of somebody's health that you love? Nah, man, I ain't buying it. And, this ain't the slight who Steve Rifkind is. I'm just saying, I think you got the story twisted somehow. Tell me what you think. Did Tupac really say that he was just dissing Mobb Deep to keep his name relevant to Steve Rifkind? Or you think Pac might have said something else to him? Maybe Steve made a mistake. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to sub to the channel. This is Machiavelli Media. Turn on the post notifications so you'll be the first ones to get it when I drop that shit. It's been a pleasure as always. I'm your homie Gab. I'm signing off. I'm about to hit y'all with the peace.